Hello everyone. In this series, episode series, I'll be making cookies. Now, I know it's kind of weird if you've seen my other videos. I do a lot of spray painting, setting up, miter saws, generators, what else? Installing, driveway, garage alert system. But sometimes late in the night, this is like, let me see, what time is it? 2:30 in the morning. I become a baker. I'm a baker now. And I'm going to make cookies. So when my daughter and my wife wakes up early in the morning, well, yeah, because my wife takes my daughter to school. She likes doing that now. They're going to have some fresh cookies. And so I'll walk you through a step-by-step on how I make my cookies. And by the way, I also made some pizza today. Let's see if that focuses or not. Maybe it'll focus, maybe it won't. There we go. So, yeah, there we go. Pizza. And basically, of course, my daughter, pepperoni and cheese for her. I use that really good mozzarella cheese, the soft one that's round, kind of roundish. And then for my wife, she's very picky. She mushrooms, olives, onions, ham, and I don't know if you can see this. I'm wearing gloves here, so don't worry. But I stuffed crusted the pizza too with the mozzarella. And this one was so good. I mean, the pizza is really the cheese, just especially when it's warm and fresh, it just melts. It's not like American cheese where it's just chewy or anything. It just the mozzarella cheese on this is, if you get the really good one, just melts in your mouth. Anyways, let's go back to making cookies here. So I got my empty bowl here. What do I need? I need some, brown sugar. Let me put you in my holster and maybe from viewing this live, just as I'm doing it right now. So there we go. Okay, so let's get some brown sugar. I like using brown sugar. Now there's many ways to make, cookies, but this is the way I like them because they're just soft, moist. I don't like the hard, over-burnt kind of cookies, the really dark brown ones. These are basically just sugar cookies for the most part. Let me see, I need a measuring cup here. There we go. It's a nice good measuring cup, and I put maybe 2.5 cups of sugars. I do some measuring just to keep it consistent, but every time you might wanna just go by feel sometimes. Get a good sense of what the dough should look like. It's half a cup, so I gotta put 2 scoops in. And don't forget the butter. You know what? Let me see if I have enough butter. I might have to do this video some other time. Oh, no, I think I got enough butter. That's 1, 2. See, it takes 2 sticks of butter. So 2 sticks of butter. I should have put the butter in, let it, let it warm up a little, but oh well, what can you do? It just takes a little bit more pounding to it. I don't have a machine, so I'm not going to be letting the machine do all the work, Those things cost quite a bit of money, and and right now a lot of money is something I don't have. As a matter of fact, I'm technically, if you consider your mortgage and all the other payments you have in your life, you're really the bum on the street, because technically you're more richer than you are. Unless you sell your house at the appreciated value of current market pricing, then you might break even, but you still got all the other debts. So for that bum on the street who basically doesn't have any debts, in a lot of ways he or she is richer than me. So okay, so that's 1 cup. I believe it calls for 1 cup. I'll do 1 cup for now. Let's see how it looks when I mix it. I don't have a machine. I have this. I know there's some other tools I can use, but as long as I can do it, I'm not going to buy those other tools. This is basically a potato masher, but that's what I have, and that's what I've been using, and it works. So here we go. That's just, yeah, there we go, just like that. And yeah, if you ever want to know what cookies are made of, you've never seen a cookie being made or how it's made, it's basically sugar and a lot of butter, or butter and a lot of sugar, and then some flour, a little bit of flour in there. That's what goes into cookie. Oh yeah, and don't forget love and kindness and peace on earth, all that good stuff too. That goes into cookies as well. You just don't notice it. But when you eat it, don't you feel so, happy? But 2 sticks of butter. So I'll just cut it up into smaller little pieces. I hope you're seeing all this. Apologize if you're not, but anyways, you'll see it, little bits and pieces. And you always see me with gloves. I wash my hands, but I figured since you always see me with gloves and everything, you should get used to it by now. So I don't have a machine, and basically this is how I'm making my cookies by hand. Let's see if I'm just getting them all powdered. So I'm just going to now really just start crushing them. Yeah. I hope you're all seeing this. And basically you just keep doing this until you get a consistency of well, you'll see. As time goes on, it gets a little easier because the butter starts melting. I should have prepared a little bit better and put put in the butter and let it get to like more of a room temperature, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So look at that, oh yeah. Since I got gloves on, I'll just go ahead and touch this stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something about these gloves here. Let's get a little rag to wipe the excess. Anyways, these are like 5 mil gloves, latex free, powder free. I love them. You see me spray paint using these gloves, but they're also good for food prep. And the 5 mil thickness works really good. You know, you can really stretch them out. And I use one time I used the 3 mil because they're a little cheaper, but they just ripped all the time. So I think I have a 9 mil, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far because I'm pretty happy with these. I might try the 9 mil thickness. I think you can pretty much do anything with those. But anyways, just a little side info for all you guys and gals. Alright, so it's getting a little softer now. So I'm not sure if you're able to see that. It's getting a little softer. I'm able to push through a lot easier. So you don't want any butter showing up. You see how their butter showing up. You want to make sure it's really well incorporated into the sugar. There we go. Let's just keep going. Now you probably thought I was getting off sidetracked by talking about the gloves. I'm just trying to buy some time for this butter to melt. So you're basically seeing it how I'm doing it. Live, uncut, unedited. If you have a machine, you can do this with a machine and just, you'd probably be done in no time, really. And make cookies every day if you wanted to, in less than, I'd say about half an hour. 15 minutes to do this, and, 45 minutes. Maybe another 15 minutes to, I like to put the cookie, the chocolate chips on the cookie dough, not in the cookie dough. And the reason being is, one bag of cookie dough, if you ever put chocolate chips in cookie dough, you have to put the whole bag in there, and which is good and all, but I notice most people don't even notice if I put the cookie, the chocolate chips on the cookie dough versus in the cookie dough, and you're not going to be wasting a lot of chocolate chips in the process. Your chocolate chip bag will last much longer, and I think it kind of looks nice. You can make it more aesthetic, in my opinion. Yeah, there we go. See that? Now you're getting a nice, good consistency. So it's I'll do 1 cup. I'm not going to, kill my family with diabetes here with all that sugar. And I think one time I put in 2 cups because I didn't quite remember the recipe, and they look like those typical cookies that you would see, flat. and burnt, like very dark. That's basically the sugar burnt, and not enough substance in there. That's why it's all flat and just butter and sugar. That's what I've noticed anyway. I like some body in my cookie and flavor and texture. Makes quite a bit of difference. In fact, let me show you kind of what I'm talking about. I got a cookie here left over. It's a giant cookie. I make a lot of smaller regular cookies, and then whatever I have left over, instead of trying to make 2 or 3 or 4 or 7 cookies into a pan, I just make a giant cookie. And the big ones take a little bit longer to cook, but as you can see, let me see here. Chewy, soft. Chewy and soft. You see, there's no cookies. There's no chocolate on the inside because I place them on top of the cookie dough. So it looks like there's chocolate chip inside, but when they eat it, they don't. By the time they put it in their mouth, they don't really care. So this is kind of a large example of what I'm talking about, but this will be smaller. I only put about 4 chocolate. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chocolate chips. Oh God, that's so good. Into every cookie. So let your. I'm just gonna eat some cookie. Wow. Oh, jeez. Well, that's something you can do. Make one large cookie. You can have fun with that. So, anyways, I got this recipe kind of online, and it was my first cookie recipe that I've ever done, and I like it, so I kind of just stuck with it. But I just kind of like the color, the texture, the body of the cookie. Mine's not flat and very dark. It's kind of light brown texture to it. So, all right, so that's about the right consistency right there. So 1 cup of sugar with 2 sticks of butter, which I think is 1 cup of butter. All right, we're done with the brown sugar. Done with the brown sugar. So I'm gonna put that back. Let me see what's next. Oh, believe it or not, some salt and vanilla. It looks like we're running low on vanilla. Let's see here. Okay, so basically it's a tablespoon for salt, tablespoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That's the way I like it. Oh, there we go. I'm just putting in all the ingredients. The last thing I do is put in the flour. I'm not done quite yet. and some baking soda. So I'm just gonna grab some baking soda. Kind of weird, you know, you brush your teeth with baking soda, and apparently you can also make some cookies with it too. So I just kind of break it up. Just put it in there. Okay. Alright. So I'll just kind of add some other ingredients to it. And while that's going, you add about two eggs. You can do it one at a time or all at once. I just do it all at once because I don't think you can taste the difference. I can smell the difference right now. It smells nice. So let's just grab 2 eggs. Hopefully we have 2 eggs, but just 2 eggs. Medium, large, small, whatever. I just have 2 eggs here. I'm just going to use them. There we go, 2 eggs. 2 eggs. I'll put them in. Let's rinse this out a little bit. Okay. 2 eggs. Alright. 2 eggs. I'm wearing gloves, but I still rinse my hand because I touched the eggs. Alright. And I need to just grab a fork here. Just grab a fork and start mixing the eggs. Okay, they look, well, beaten, so I'll just put them in there. Scrape it all out. While you're doing this, you know, just rinse and clean while you're doing it, so you don't make a big mess, you know, at the end of everything that you're doing. Just works out better that way. Okay, so now we got some eggs in there, and now we start mixing it all up again. And then it starts getting a little loose. Yeah. From here, I'll start using the good old wooden spoon because this has served its purpose, that's for sure. And a spatula. Spatula helps because it wipes clean all the excess amount of the stuff. I don't know what else to say. Cookie dough, I guess. So you want to just wipe that off. There we go. Let's put that away for now. I think we're done with that, and just kind of clean off the sides here. find a place to put it for now. And then get the wooden spoon. Okay, so this is where we get the flour. This is where the flour comes in really handy. So it's kind of like this kind of consistency. Kind of depends, you know. In the winter it's a little bit thicker. In the spring and summer it's kind of a little goopy. Anyways, so from here on, grab the flour. Oh, and by the way, I make bread with this, and I'll do that in another episode. Making bread, really easy. But the same bread that I make, the same ingredients that I make bread for, it's also the same ingredients for this pizza dough. The only difference is I roll the pizza dough on the bread, I just let it rise and cook. So I also use a little bit of this whole wheat. Put 1 cup of whole wheat and then the rest of flour, unbleached flour, or bleached flour I should say. Goodness. Already a lot of flour coming out here. So here I go. Just go in. This half cup, so 1. 2 half cups makes a whole cup. And I do it at a cup at a time. Okay, just let it get in there. There we go. And then I start mixing, and then it'll start thickening up, and then you'll start recognizing it as more of a cookie dough. Sometimes it's 3 cups, sometimes it's maybe more, depends. I have to look at it, get a feel for it. Sometimes I think it's temperature, humidity related. So this is still too goopy, of course. It's only 1 cup of flour, but you see it's thickening. It's starting to really thicken here. And it's a good time to get your spatula and wipe the sides here. And if you had a machine, you'd be done by now. But, you know, I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy. I might use power machines to do things, but, you know, when it comes to this, man, who needs a machine? Okay. Anyways, there we go. So you see it's starting to really thicken now. And it looks like dough. But if you touch it, it's just too sticky. So it's not quite done yet. You need to get to the point where it gets touchable, like Play-Doh for the most part. Hence dough, cookie dough, Play-Doh, dough. Anyways. Go with the flour again, and I'm just basically scooping 1. You notice I'm just not putting just 3 cups all at once. I want to check out the consistency of this and just see how it turns out. wipe the wooden spoon, because that stuff on the wooden spoon has to get mixed in there too. Alright, there we go. Cookie. There we go. Not sure if you're seeing this, but there we go. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. You see it's getting thicker, but it's still too sticky. Still too sticky to be handling here. I like it to the point where it's touchable. You can touch it and mold it, because you're going to be using it to you're definitely going to be using it to place it into the sheets. It's getting thicker though. It's starting to really look like dough now. So, anyways, I think one more cup should do the trick. One. Two, and that's 3 cups, I believe. It's almost amazing. If you ever make bread, it kind of almost runs the same recipe formula. The way I make bread is it's 4 cups of flour, 1 and 3/4 cups of water, salt and yeast. And here we have 3 cups of flour and 1 cup of sugar, which is 4 cups of some, solid substance, powdery, whatever. And then the eggs, the butter is about 1 cup, the egg is about another, I don't know, half a cup, so it's about 1.5 cups. And then, of course, you still have salt, which is 1 tablespoon of salt. And you're just adding some vanilla and baking powder, but it almost runs that same line of formula in the recipe. And, I think when you start getting into pastries, almost everything kind of falls in that same line for that particular serving size. Alright, by the way, we didn't add yeast in the cookie dough. That's why it doesn't rise too much. But you kind of get what I'm saying, It's very similar to that kind of concept of baking pastries. And I didn't go to cooking school for this, just do it. Anybody who, cooks, bakes, bread or makes cookies, they'll probably definitely know I'm talking about here. Just doing it, you notice. Now it's getting, to the point where it's not that sticky anymore. As you see, it's just that kind of way. It's clumpy now. That's right, because you're going to be just mush it together. It'll still stick, but it's getting to the point where now you can handle it with your hands without sticking onto your hands. There we go. Just make sure it gets there. See that? So it's getting to a point where it's very Play-Doh-like. Scrape the sides here. It's pretty much the right consistency. Yeah. And just to give you an idea, see, I can touch it now. See that? It doesn't stick to my hands. See that? It doesn't stick to my hands now. It's like Play-Doh. See, that's how I liked it, Although, if you touch it too long, there's butter. It still, it will melt in your hands. It's made of butter for the most part. Okay, so I got cookie dough. Now what? Now what do you do with this freaking cookie dough? Usually if you follow a regular recipe, this is kind of where I deviate a little bit. It tells you to put the chocolate chips or whatever in here and then mix it, which is great because for the chocolate chip companies, Hershey's or whoever, you're putting a lot of freaking chocolate. You're wasting a whole bag in here. What I like to do is, I'm just going to make chocolate chip, but you can make different types of cookies without making different types of cookie dough with whatever topping you want, or I'll give you an example here. It's if I want to make cookie with chocolate chips, if you did it the way the chocolate chip bag instruction comes, it'll tell you to put the chocolate chip in the cookie dough, mix it. Well, what if you don't want all chocolate chip? What if you like white chocolate, or almonds, or toffee, or oats? Well, you're kind of screwed because you put everything in the dough and you mixed it. You're going to make another batch? Well, that's kind of ridiculous. So if you just make the dough and then put the toppings on the dough, you can have whatever you want. You can have white chocolate chip cookie, chocolate chip cookie, almond cookie, toffee, whatever. Almonds, I already said almonds. Walnut, whatever you want. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. As in one batch of cookies, you can have different types of cookies. Is my point. So, or if you like one particular type of cookie, you can just dump the whole thing in the bag. I mean, who cares? It's about what you want, right? Who cares? If they want it, they can make it them damn selves. That's right. So, just a little wipe. we are just all clean. Look at that. Except for my pizza right there. Alright, so let's bake some cookies now. This is an aluminum round pan, I guess. I use it for pizza. It has holes in it. It bakes pretty well. If you want to see on the bottom, it has that little round. You could obviously see that is baked from here. See another one here. Yeah. I put cornmeal on the bottom so it doesn't stick. But I also use this as a cookie sheet, or not cookie sheet, cookie pan. And it's aluminum. I know it's from aluminum to, let's say, this, which is steel. The cookie dough tends to, on the bottom, cook more, or gets a little bit more burnt than if I use the aluminum. So, but anyways, this is what I have. I'm going to make, you'll see how much I'll make. It's going to fill this, and then at least 2 of those, and I'll make a big cookie out of one. But I don't, what I do is, instead of buying the disposable aluminum cookie sheets that you see in the supermarkets, I just go ahead and use good old aluminum foil and put it right on top. And since the cookie dough has butter in it, it will not stick onto the aluminum foil. You can go and buy cookie sheets. I don't know if they're any cheaper, but this is what I got. This is what I use. You could have a million cooking products and utensils and all this other crap, but if you're just a little creative with some of the things that you already have and you use most commonly on a daily basis, so you'll you don't have to purchase all that stuff. So anyways, this is just how I use this pizza pan into a cookie pan, or sheet, or whatever. And it works out. It works. That's what I'm trying to say. It works. You put a little edge on it, so you shape your cookie sheet and put an edge on it. Alright, so voila. What's great is I could just throw it away and don't have to wash the pan. So I just use a regular little spoon like this, and just scoop one up. And since I can touch it without having to stick on me, voila! Isn't that just wonderful? So that's kind of what you want, and it just goes by so much faster. See, look at that. It's just a regular Pillsbury Doughboy. I just use this to kind of measure myself here. Just not always going to be exact, but you should get at least 2 sheets. Oh, this one right here. Give yourself some spacing because they tend to flatten out. When they start getting warm, they they flatten a little bit, and so I'm just kind of spacing them. I'll kind of fine tune it a little bit later. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of it. So I just take it, space them kind of accordingly. Alright, there you go. That's about the spacing that you need. So let's grab some cookie dough. Let's see, I have white chocolate, I have peanut brittle stuff, and chocolate chip. And this is what I'm talking about. I usually have some almonds too, and I crush them up, and the great thing is that you can kind of mix the almonds with the different things. You can do combinations. I mean, by the time they wake up, you know, I'm just the greatest person in the whole world because I just made them cookies. So let's give you an example of what I'm talking about. So this is a little bit less than one bag. I already used some. I already made the amount of cookies I made today, the amount of cookies I will make today. I've already used all this cookie to make the previous batch of cookies, and this is how much cookie chip, chocolate chip I have left to make more chocolate chip cookies. Otherwise, I would have dumped this whole thing into this dough, and I mean, it would have been packed with chocolate, but people don't know the difference. It's just a visual effect. See, like that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one in the middle. Now, if you notice, this kind of looks like the same. Kind of looks like the same way the stuff that you buy in the supermarket. You know, you think they dump a whole bag of chocolate chip and only charge you $2 or $3 for that bag of cookie? No way, man. They're skimping out. So am I. Anyways, I'm not. I'm giving them some good. It's good stuff. So that's kind of, I hope you're seeing that. That's kind of more or less what's going on. So looks like that. And then let's do some white chocolate. My wife likes white chocolate. Nice white chocolate. Oh, it smells good too, boy. So just voila, you know, you got some white chocolate. The dough's the same. Toppings are different, you know. And peanut brittle kind of stuff here. Let's see. Just take some in your hands, put it in your palm. Usually put it in a bowl, but since I'm just going to make one, what I usually do with this is just basically, there you go. Just put it upside down. This one I'll just do half and half of little peanut brittle, and then white chocolate. So this is kind of what I was talking about. You can mix it up. So voila, you know, you got a variety of cookies. You don't have to make a whole batch of dough and dump all this stuff in there. So this is, you got the idea. Anyways, I'm going to put this stuff away because I'm doing this because my daughter is like the boss of me, and so I have to do whatever she tells me, and she wants nothing but chocolate chip, so that's what I got. And by this time, watch this. I'm going to bake 350. Start, it takes 10 minutes to warm the oven. By then, I will have the rest of the cookies ready. To be put in the oven. I mean, it really doesn't take that long to do all this stuff. Alright, there we go. Voila, instant cookie sheet. So, kind of made them a little bit bigger, but that's alright. It'll still work. I mean, trust me, it'll work. So just move them around. While you're moving them around, kind of round them out a little bit. Okay, here you go. Can you see that a little better? So move them around a little bit. Make sure they're evenly spaced. Okay, these are going to come out really good. So look how much cookie chips I have left. I would have dumped this whole thing in this for this batch of cookies if I followed the directions on from the chocolate chip company. I'm sure they really want you to, you know what, they say, hey, if you want to make it even more delicious, put 2 bags in there. Oh, yes, okay. Okay, sure. Oh. So if I put 10 bags, will it be really delicious? It'd be ridiculous, really. Imagine putting 10 bags of chocolate chip in a cookie dough about this size. Would you do that? Would you? I know some of you would. You would just drink chocolate chip. Anyways, doesn't this look good? Can't you just see this just baking and just... Wow, I can taste the cookies already. Look at that, I'm already done. If you want, you can just skip on to whatever part 1, 3, 4, 5, 10, and just go ahead and just see the finished product. Voila, done. And this is how much cookie dough I have left. So out of that piece, I'm just going to make one giant cookie. It's usually in this size. So, look how much time I have left. I still got almost 6 minutes. 6 minutes before it warms up, before I can even put this in. Usually I start the oven before I even do all this whole thing. So by the time that oven reaches that temperature, I'm ready to go. So instead of buying those disposable aluminum cookie sheets, which I've seen for sale for like, I don't know, anywhere from $5 to $7, just go ahead and use aluminum foil if you have it already, you know, and just if you got something like this, just go ahead and put something like this in it. Something, yeah, I kind of think this kind of works better because it won't spill over, you know. Anyways, since we're done with that spoon. Yeah, it served its purpose. It scooped enough cookie. And then that scooped the big cookie dough. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh. Sorry. Here you go. Oh. See? It doesn't leave that much. And if it does, the butter just will release it from my fingers. And with this, here you go, turn on some hot water, let it clean itself. Voila, done. So usually when it's this big, I do like to shape it a little bit. Flatten it out. There we go. And this is a little bit more fun because you could kind of just grab a handful and just sprinkle it on. Look at that. It's so soft, it just that's how fun it is. Of course, you want to make it look good, so you want to spread it out a little so it looks random. Because kids these days, and us, even grown-ups, we're so commercialized. We just think the perfect cookie, because it's been automized and commercialized and everything's structured for maximum profit and all that. So if it's doesn't look like it came up from a factory, we won't eat it. Voila, there you go, giant super cookie. And look at how much cookie dough I have left over. Quite a bit. I mean, not cookie dough, I'm sorry, chocolate chip I have left over. So save yourself some money, flour. I think this whole bag cost me $10, $8. I don't believe you pay tax on this either. So I make a lot of bread, a lot of pizza, a lot of cookies. I make croissants sometimes. You name it. I mean, learn how to feed yourself. I'm not saying go out and start pulling wheat out from the ground or anything, but hucking hay and all that. Yeah, that's right, I said hucking hay. I've got to wait. Even after all that talking I did with you guys, I still got to wait 2 minutes. Maybe I'll just get some water. Oh man. Oh, water is just so delicious these days, It's just a fearful thought that one day we're going to have to, pay a lot of money just to drink water one day. Oh man, that hit the spot. Excuse me. Alright, so it's almost time. It's almost time. Don't worry, I'm not going to let you watch the 10 minutes of of baking. Well, I'll cut out and cut back in. Alright, excellent. I usually like to turn the light on, make sure that it is cooking properly. So anyways, while that's been warming up, some of this is already hot, so alright, let's take a look here. Ooh, that's, feel the heat coming out. I usually like to put the big one right here next to the light so I can I can see it, because the bigger one, the big one tends to take a little bit longer to cook. So I got a little watch here. I put it on stop time. I have an alarm or a countdown that counts down from 30 minutes. That's usually for baking bread, making pizza, but this only takes about 10 minutes. So I'll cut out from here. You guys can take a rest, go to the bathroom, eat some cookies, whatever. And you could go on to the next video, whatever part that is. And so thanks for watching, and if you want, you can just go on to the next video if you really want to see. Thanks.